Your phone is dead. You need the station. People walk past you. Everyone looks busy. You see one person nearby. This should be easy, but suddenly your mind is empty. What do you say? Hey, and welcome back to the English Adventure podcast. So happy you're here with us today.
Hey, Lily. Good to be back. Yeah, sometimes the smallest question can feel like the hardest one.
Hi, Jack. Yes, and that is why I like today's topic so much, because asking for directions is not only about language, it is also about confidence. And if you enjoy learning with us and would like more episodes like this, we'd be really happy to have you as a subscriber. It truly helps us keep creating more helpful and motivating episodes for you.
And thanks for being here with us.
So, now imagine this. You are outside. People are moving. Maybe you are in a hurry. Maybe it is raining a little. Maybe you already walked the wrong way.
Yeah, and somehow your battery always dies at exactly the wrong moment.
Always. And then you look around and you think, okay, I need help now. That is a very real moment for many learners.
It really is. So let's imagine it together. You are in a new city. You want to go to the train station. You look left, you look right, and nothing looks familiar. You see one person near you. Now, the first step begins.
And for many people, that first step is the hardest part. Not the whole conversation, not the directions, just the beginning. How do I start?
The good news is the beginning can be very small. Sometimes one phrase is enough. You can simply say, "Excuse me."
Short and polite.
And after that, you can add a simple question. For example, "Can you help me?"
That one is great because it works in many situations, not only for directions. If you need help anywhere, this sentence can open the door.
Yeah, and maybe this sentence sounds familiar. "Can you help me?" Do you remember it? We also used it in our coffee shop episode, and that is something really helpful in English. You do not learn one sentence for only one moment. You learn patterns. The same simple phrase can help you in different places, at a coffee shop, in the street, at a station, anywhere. And when you hear it again in a new situation, it stays with you more easily. Maybe that could be a really good episode one day. The most useful patterns for different everyday situations, at a coffee shop, while traveling, at work, in a restaurant. What do you think, dear listeners? Would you like an episode like that?
I would listen to that one too.
Yeah, and people often react kindly when they hear that, because your English does not need to be perfect. People usually understand the situation very fast.
And if "can you help me" feels too direct for someone, there are other soft ways too. You can say, "Sorry, can I ask you something?"
That sounds friendly and natural, and I like that it gives you one more second to breathe.
True. Sometimes one extra second helps a lot. You walk over, you smile, you say, "Sorry, can I ask you something?" And suddenly, you're already speaking.
That is an important point. Many learners think confidence comes first, but often confidence comes after the first sentence. Of course, it always depends on the situation.
Oh, I like that. Not always before, after.
Yeah, you speak first, then you feel better.
So now you started the conversation. The next step is the real question. Let's say you need the station. You can ask, "Where is the train station?"
Very clear, very useful. And notice the word where. Where is one of the best travel words in English. Where is the station? Where is the hotel? Where is the bus stop?
Yes, one word helps in many places. And if you want a longer version, you can say, "How do I get to the city center?"
That is a great phrase, because sometimes you do not only want the place, you want the way. Not just where is it, but how do I get there?
Correct. And there's another useful question many people need. Is there a pharmacy near here?
Very practical. And the phrase "near here" is wonderful because maybe the exact place doesn't matter, you just need something close.
Yes, maybe you need a bank, maybe a supermarket, maybe coffee.
Coffee is always an emergency.
Absolutely. So you can change one word and use the same structure. Is there a bank near here? Is there a cafe near here? Is there a toilet near here?
That is how real language works. You learn one pattern and use it again in new situations.
And that feels much easier than learning 50 different sentences.
Much easier, right? Now imagine the person smiles and wants to help. That already changes the feeling, right? A moment ago, you felt lost. Now, you are in a conversation.
Yes, and that is such a good feeling. You were quiet, nervous, unsure. Then you said one sentence, and now something is moving.
Step by step. That is how many situations become easier. Not with perfect grammar, not with difficult words, with simple words used in the right moment.
I think that is important to hear because many listeners wait too long. They think, I need more vocabulary, I need better grammar, I need more confidence. But sometimes you only need, excuse me.
And then, where is the station?
And suddenly you are already doing it.
Yeah, and once you ask one person, the next time feels lighter. Maybe still a little nervous, but lighter.
I know that feeling. The first time feels big, the second time feels possible.
And after that, it slowly becomes normal.
So if you're listening today and thinking, I could never do that, maybe not perfectly, but maybe with one sentence.
And one sentence is a powerful start.
A little later, the person begins to answer, and now a new challenge starts. A moment ago, you needed to speak. Now you need to listen. Sometimes they speak slowly, sometimes very fast, sometimes with their hands too. The hand directions can be impressive. They say left, but point everywhere. And you hear words like left, right, straight.
Yeah, and that is where many people suddenly think, wait, slow down. But this is important to remember. You do not need every word. You only need the helpful words. That changes a lot.
Yes, because many learners try to understand everything, every sound, every word, every detail, and then the stress gets louder.
So here is a softer way. Listen for the keywords. Often one of the first keywords is straight.
I like that word. It often means life is simple again. No decision yet, no panic, just keep walking.
Exactly. If someone says go straight, they mean continue forward, stay on the same path.
And many real answers begin like that. Go straight for 2 minutes, go straight past the cafe, go straight and then one of the famous twins arrives, left.
Left and right, small words, big responsibility.
Very true, especially when you suddenly forget both.
That never happens to me.
Oh, really?
Only sometimes. But yes, left is very common. If someone says turn left, you change direction and go to the left side.
And then we have turn right. Same idea, different side. These 3 words matter a lot. Straight, left, right.
Honestly, with those 3 words, you can already do a lot. Not everything, but a lot.
And that is a good reminder for learners. You do not need 100 words first. Sometimes 3 useful words are stronger than 20 random words. What matters is that you build on those words and keep going. Step by step, your English will grow.
Very true. Now, people often add another clue. They say, turn left at the corner.
A corner is where 2 streets meet. So you keep walking, reach the corner, then turn. It's like a small signal in the street.
Yes, not too early, not too late. At the corner.
Very helpful, unless there are 5 corners and now everything feels personal.
Then we stay calm and keep going. Now let's add another useful phrase. It's next to the bank.
That one is great. Next to means beside, very close, right near it. So maybe you do not know the station, but you can see the bank. And now the bank helps you.
That happens a lot in real life. People use places you can see. A bank, a supermarket, a cafe, a hotel. Those places become little guides.
I like that. The city helps you one building at a time.
Beautifully said. Another phrase you may hear is, it's across from the supermarket.
Across from means on the other side. You look at the supermarket and the place is opposite it.
Yes. At first, this phrase can sound long, but after a few times, it feels natural.
That is true for many things in English. First strange, then familiar, then easy.
Now imagine someone says, go straight, turn left at the traffic light, and it's next to the bank.
That sounds like a lot when it comes quickly, but when we slow it down, it is only small parts. Go straight, turn right, next to the bank.
And that can help your listening so much. Don't fight the whole sentence. Catch the pieces.
Yes, listen for direction words, straight, left, right. Then listen for place words, bank, corner, cafe. That's often enough to understand the path.
And if you miss one small word, it doesn't mean everything is lost. Sometimes the meaning is still clear.
That feels important because many learners think, I missed one word, it's over. But no, the conversation is still alive.
Always, especially when you're willing to stay in the conversation. Think about our small talk episodes. One question, one short answer, one more sentence, that's often enough to keep things moving. Language is not glass. It doesn't break so easily.
Oh, I like that. Now let's try another real example. You ask, how do I get to the museum? And the person says, go straight, turn left at the traffic light, it's on your right.
Now we hear another helpful phrase. It's on your right.
Yes, that means when you arrive, look to the right side. The place is there. And of course, sometimes you hear, it's on your left. Same idea. Other side.
Simple phrases, but they open real doors. Or museums.
Hopefully, museums. Another phrase people love is, it's 5 minutes from here.
That one gives information and comfort. 5 minutes sounds friendly. Much better than somewhere around there.
Absolutely. And there is one more thing people forget. Listening is not only words, it is also tone, a smile, a hand movement, someone pointing down the street.
Yes, so even when you do not understand everything, you can still understand enough.
I really hope that idea stays with our listeners today. Not perfect listening, useful listening.
That is how many real conversations work.
And then, sometimes, after all of that, the person finishes the explanation, looks at you kindly, and you still think, wait, say that again?
Yeah, and that is a completely normal moment.
Correct. The person was kind. They really tried to help. They explained everything. And still, your brain says, I have no idea what happened.
A very human moment, and an important one, because many learners think this is the end of the conversation, but often it is only the middle.
Yes, you are still in the situation. You can still ask again. You can still understand.
Exactly, and this may be the most helpful idea today. You are allowed to need more time and to ask twice.
I love that because sometimes people feel embarrassed. They think, oh no, I already asked once, now I cannot ask again. But you see, sometimes this is not only about English, sometimes it is about your own growth too.
Yeah, and real communication does not work like that. People repeat things every day, in every language.
So let's make it easy. One small word can already help. Sorry?
You can say it with a friendly voice, and people understand immediately.
And if you want a full sentence, you can say, can you repeat that?
Excellent phrase, because it is clear and polite. You are not saying you are wrong, you are saying, please say it again.
That feels better already. And sometimes the problem is not the words, it is the speed.
Very true. Some people speak clearly but quickly.
Then you can simply say, slower, please.
And do not worry, you do not need a perfect accent for that sentence. People understand the meaning.
I think many listeners need to hear that. You do not need perfect pronunciation to be understood. Often, clear intention is enough.
Yes. Now let's imagine a real moment. You ask, excuse me, where is the train station? The person says something long and fast. You smile and say, sorry, can you repeat that?
Much better already. Now maybe they speak slower, and this time you hear one important word, left. But only one word.
That can happen too. Then we use another simple question. Left at the bank?
Such a good rescue phrase, because now the big explanation becomes one small choice.
And small choices feel easier under pressure.
Always. Sometimes we do not need more information. We need clearer information.
Very well said. Now, another helpful phrase is, can you show me?
Good one. Because many people can explain better with their hand than with 10 sentences.
Very true. A finger pointing down the street can be more powerful than advanced grammar.
Absolutely. So if words feel heavy, use the world around you, the street,
The signs, the buildings, the map.
Ah, yes, the map. That gives us another useful phrase. Can you show me on the map?
Very practical, especially in a new city. Maybe it's a paper map. Maybe it's on your phone. You open it, and suddenly everything feels clearer.
And notice something important here. You are not failing. You are solving the situation.
That matters because some learners think, if I ask again, I am bad at English. But no, if you ask again, you are communicating.
Absolutely. And communication is the real goal, especially in a world where many people feel disconnected or feel that people don't talk enough anymore. Not looking perfect, not sounding perfect, understanding and being understood.
Oh, yes, I really agree with you, Jack. There's a lot in that. And sometimes we notice too late that there was not enough communication. I think many listeners know that feeling too. But okay, this topic is bigger than it looks. Back to our street corner. Smiles. Let's play one full mini scene. You ask, "Excuse me, where's the train station?"
And I answer, go straight, turn left at the bank, then right after the cafe.
And I smile because inside I understood 2% smiles. So I say, "Sorry, slower, please."
Of course. Go straight, turn left at the bank, then right after the cafe.
Better. Now I ask, "Left at the bank?"
Yes, then right after the cafe.
Perfect, thank you.
That is real communication. A few small moments together.
And that is why this topic is bigger than directions. It's about staying in the moment, not running away because it feels awkward.
Yes, stay one sentence longer. That is often where confidence grows.
You feel nervous, then you ask. You feel confused, then you ask again. You feel unsure, then suddenly you understand.
That is progress.
And real progress lasts.
It really does. Now imagine you start walking. You follow the directions, straight, left, right. And then you see the station.
That is such a nice feeling. A few minutes ago, you felt lost. Now you know where you are.
And maybe the best part is this. You did not need advanced English.
No, you needed courage, a few phrases, and one more try.
You're right. So if you ever have that moment again, new city, busy street, brain empty, remember this. You can ask. You can ask again. You can take your time. And yes, sometimes you may meet one person who's not very kind. Do not let that stop you. Most people out there mean well and often feel good themselves when they could help someone.
And every time you do it, it gets a little lighter. Maybe not easy at first, but easier. So the next time someone gives you directions and your brain goes silent, take a breath, smile, and say, "Sorry, can you repeat that?"
And above all, today was another strong step forward for your English. Every time you listen, every time you try, every time you use one sentence, it counts. Today, you practiced how to ask for help, how to listen, how to ask again. And those are real skills for real life.
They really are. Maybe today one phrase stayed in your mind. Maybe two. That is already something valuable. You do not need everything in one day. Step by step, things become more natural.
So later today or sometime this week, try a little practice in your head. Excuse me, where's the station? Can you repeat that? Even quiet practice helps.
And if some parts felt difficult today, that is completely normal. Come back anytime. Listen again. Notice what feels easier next time. That is progress too.
A little later, you arrive somewhere new. Maybe a hotel. Maybe you're carrying a bag. Maybe it's been a long day and now you just want to check in.
Yeah, and now you need a room key, and maybe the Wi-Fi password too.
That sounds like our next adventure. Have a beautiful day or a peaceful evening wherever you are.
And if you enjoyed this episode, we'd really appreciate a quick thumbs up. Take care, and the next time you feel lost, you may already know what to say.